want my shit, ICP. That's the song. I'm gonna break the silence and talk about some time travel shit. Cause we're all gonna die. I got the wrong lighter. And the other one back in my pocket. Cause we're all gonna fucking die, dude. We'll talk about some shit. Just enjoy the song or fast forward a minute or some shit. A couple minutes. Let me smoke this cigarette real quick. I think about what I'm saying, not saying. Okay, so look, man. I'm just gonna talk about just like random shit. I'm just gonna talk about some random shit, man. Okay, look. They're so gonna assassinate me for this. I'll try to talk about 10 different things about it. Okay, so one, of course, there's places that anybody in this world can go to time travel. And I know the type about like, oh, there's this tunnel in China and you lose 5 minutes or some shit. You gain 5 minutes or something. Like, no, I mean like there's places that you can go to and to where you can meet your family members that have died in like a different dimension, and like your children from a different dimension and all this stuff, man. And just, what else can I say about the locations that you can go to? Just like kind of controlled by like, you know, not the powers that be, but the powers that be that you don't see, but not the ones that you don't see. Not like the Shadow Gov, but like the ETs, you know what I mean? And like shit, they like kind of control that shit. So I'm like part of one major group of time travelers, and then there's another major group of time travelers, which is like the bad people trying to control the world, the government, this, that, and the other, and fuck shit up. It's like controlled by the devil, you know? So, there's certain places you can go to. I don't know, just look around, check out Lee lines and fucking a scene, fucking enchanted, fucking shit. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna like go here and there and shit. Maybe they just had a couple Lee lines and I had a couple like really haunted fucking extraterrestrial fucking ghost poltergeist fucking places, and then if I can name one more type of places that are for some reason abandoned. This house or a whole fucking town or city or area town or like fucking continent or some shit. I don't know how to explain it. I better not touch the keyboard. I'm actually undo this video and I'm not gonna shoot another one. So on, there's places that you can go to. Controlled basically by the good ETs, good ETs. There's places where the bad ETs control. Yes. And those places most people are probably in right now, and they're kind of controlling shit to where they're just using people like a battery, like, you know, just using people like for to do your job and just to like live your life the way you do and create the weak energy that you create that's fucking up Earth and the sun and its rotation and everything. And people are not activated to hold all their chakras to their crown chakra. They're emitting a powerful low energy that's just really the extraterrestrials are using it and harnessing it for their power to destroy like powerful good energies, you know, heavenly, holy, wholesome, whole energies. You know, I think a whole body, like, you know. Okay. And that's like, a lot of these like certain city places and stuff. I can even give you an example. You got some places and the day seems faster. You got some places and the day seems, and the day seems slower, longer. And in some places, it's just whatever. Or some places it's longer, but it's way awesome. It's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? You just totally enjoy it, and it's just like something about it, like not longer and dragging you down and making you tired, but longer and you're so energized and more energized, and air is so fresh, or whatever it is, the ambiance, the energy of it, something, Or other places that will drag you down, and the day will go by really fast, or they won't drag you down, the day will go by fast, but it usually correlates with the day going by fast and kind of being sucky. And a lot of these cities, and it just, okay, so it's not gonna kill me. So look, they're like taking. I'm joking. They're not gonna. I'm just making up shit, right? Okay, so look. Um, listen to him. Okay, so um, they're taking your time. Okay, and they can take like 0.03, like not even a whole like a couple minutes off of your day, or they could take a couple hours off your day, you know, or even a little bit, or a few hours off your day. There's some places I was like, wow, look how many hours they took off these people's day, and they're just taking your time, and especially in the people in the area's time. And there's things that you can do to protect yourself to where that they're not taking your time in those areas, but you have to have like the power of God around you and then around you, and so God and His angels are already going to take care of that, and you're going to notice this, that, and the other, and you're going to feel this, that pulling. You're going to pull towards getting your time, and be it having to eat really healthy and go to bed early before the sun goes down, and wake up early before the sun comes up, and just really exercise a little bit, or whatever people do, just be in their zone, and their body's perfectly healthy and really healthy and healing itself, and not going the opposite way, but you're putting in nutrition to be healthier and stronger and stronger and stronger, 100 years stronger, 200 years stronger. We're not supposed to age and die. I have the formula to all that. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but that would be a fun topic. Maybe at the end of this I will talk about it, but probably not. Okay, I'm going to talk about it. Look at these plants. Look at the oldest plant in the world. It's like 5,000 years old, 8,000 years old. Look at these plants. Look at the trees where Jesus prayed at. It's like 4,000 years old, 2,000, 4,000 years old. Look at all these trees. Those were olive trees that he prayed at. There's like 10, 20 different type of trees that live thousands of years old, like, and more. And they've lived through some really harsh environmental stuff, atmospheric stuff, temperature stuff, weather stuff, to where a lot of them died. If they never went through this droughts and floods and all this weather stuff, and they just got the nutrition they needed, these plants would have lived forever, and they will live forever. And all plants basically live forever. Some of them have DNA problems, this, that, and the other, but they can all be repaired and fixed. You can turn off DNA, you can turn on DNA, not for your baby, but for you while you're even alive, you know what I mean? Um, so look at these plants, these trees. So you can take the leaves, the fruits, the seeds, the stem, skin. You can take the root skin, especially with all those minerals, and certain fruits and seeds with proteins or antioxidants, for this, that, or the other. And you can get so many antioxidants and minerals off of these parts of the plants that your body will have all the minerals that it needs. No one on earth has all the minerals they need. Maybe someone has a little bit of this one, that one, the other one, they all that they need, but not all of the minerals as a whole that they need. And if you look at all the minerals that like a plant needs to grow, and if you're really serious about growing it, or if a human needs, if you're really serious about humans, you research, there's like 100 minerals literally that we can take that would be beneficial to us, and that, you know what I mean. But of course, there's a certain three that are trace minerals. I'm not going to name. Okay, so sulfur, magnesium, and zinc are the trace minerals. Man, everybody he's too smart. Look, I don't even want to talk about this right now anymore. Like, the antioxidants, okay, so they have resveratrol and glutathione, vitamin C or citric acid or ascorbic acid, the man-made version. And I don't want to confuse people. Y'all have to request me to finish, make a part two and a part three and stuff. But basically, you get all the nutrition that you need from food. I don't really want to sit here and talk about the major 15 and like 50 other and kind of let you point out like to yourself, you should be able to figure out like 500 or what. Just all this type of food that's not good, factory food, made a factory, and I mean like not the good way. Not fresh food. It's been like cooked and free and not fresh or freezer or whatever, and what else are they doing to the food? They're adding this to it. They're taking that from it. Adding these poisons to it. They're taking out these nutritions. They're fucking radiating it. Um, um, they're putting in stuff to make it last longer. I forgot what they call that. Preservatives. You know what I mean? The food might not even be nutritious at all. Even something people should be eating, and people eat it like it's freaking bread. And I mean, like real bread. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff at the store is like not real shit, man. I'll be talking about this for hours. Though, like the bread. Look at all the ingredients in bread. Okay, in the old days, they just had like bread. They just had like the barley, the oats, the rye, the buckwheat. The grass seeds. You know, the grain, whatever grain basically. You get almost any grain or whatever, and a lot of the stuff you can throw into it. The bread. You get like whatever the grain you like, and you mix it up. You switch it up. You mash it up. You you know, you can just throw it. We can just throw it in the blender. We don't need to get a rock and another rock and like you know what I mean, or you like turning the mill or whatever. But basically, um, maybe I'm just gonna close my eyes, relax and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna close my eyes and stuff. So basically, just try to relax because this is really I don't really even feel like doing this. Um, Basically, what was you talking about? The minerals, antioxidants, nutrients, chlorophyll, all this chlorophyll from the greens. You're supposed to be eating basically 30 to 60% of your food should be coming from green, eating a whole bunch of green, healthy green, local stuff that you can find that might not be tasting really good at first or whatever, but it's very healthy, right? And you'll get used to it after 3 days to a week. And you just blend it up and you just get your hand and you put it in there after you turn off the blender and you squeeze it and you throw away all the fibers and then you can drink it. But you can take all those greens, and I mean like a few, like three HEB bags full, or three Piggly Wiggly, you know what I mean, or three Sprouts, or freaking, right, Whole Foods bag, but yeah, you know, you know what I mean, 3 bags, bags. I mean, I'm serious. Like, blend it all up. Take a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Half a bag. You know what I'm saying? Grab a couple handfuls. Blend up. Take out the fiber. You know what I'm saying? Squeeze it. Keep doing it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Get a bag. You take some of it. Blend it up. Take out the fiber. Squeeze it. Throw it away. Get some more. Blend it up. Take out the fiber. Throw it away. Get the rest. Blend it up. Take out the fiber. Throw it away. Um, do it again. And that's gonna be some really thick. Imagine how much nutrition is in there. That's more freaking minerals, several different minerals, antioxidants, even proteins, types or amino acids. That you're not getting. You know, um, vitamins, a lot of antioxidant vitamins. So many vitamins you're not getting. You can just get right there from the grass that grows in the lawn, but don't get it from like where the cats and dogs and deer are sitting and pissing in the bio and the dirty freaking city rivers flooding over. Like, the city might be so bad, you might just fucking you just leave all together and just look at it like this, like, nah, this ain't gonna work out. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even go out here and eat from fresh produce from the land. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, you are out there in the middle of like kind of nowhere, but you're at like certain part of the like latitude away from the city where and longitude where the fucking wind is blowing all this poison from like the fucking nuclear power plants and the coal power plants and the fucking and the factories and this was raining this poison acid rain because there's just like 5, 10, 15, 50 miles away, 40 miles, 30 miles away from the city, but you're like so right there, you know what I mean? But even so, by the time you're around 50 miles away from the city, you know what I mean, a little hour drive in the car on the highway or whatever, freeway or whatever, interstate or whatever, you know, that's just an hour of your time. You can go out there and pick enough greens to last you like the next week or few months. And just, I mean, I'm actually okay with putting in the freezer, just not for like probably more than like a month or two, a month really. If you have to, just throw it in the freezer. I could go out in my freezer and take out some pine needle leaves and all that stuff. But that's probably all I have right now. I just say, give me the vitamin C, right? Give me the citric acid. Yeah. He said, I want some too. It was like, I got some for you. Everyone was like, oh, I want some, I want some, I want some. He was laughing, ha ha ha. He turned around and said, please give us some. He said, stop laughing, you're distracting him. We're trying to buy from him. He said, shh, I want to know what's so funny. Why are you laughing? Like, man, that's sorbic acid, man. This is citric acid. I just wanted the citric acid, man. Not the man-made vitamin C, but that's good stuff too. But it could be a little harmful. But the citric acid, which is good stuff, is just like, they're both very unharmful. But this is even more so unharmful, you know. Of course, the way they get the citric acid from the plant could leave impurities inside of it, but it's very unlikely. But for anything that you buy, like supplement, that's some type of extract or whatever, even preservatives and non-extract supplements where they just had it sun dried or something, you know what I mean? Like it could have sulfites in it, and sulfites, you know, they say is really bad. Now, I'll never really explain how it's bad. Maybe it causes birth defects or something. I don't know. But I mean, I've read about it. I could think about it, but I don't feel like going through like pages and pages of memory and trying to figure out that one little memory thing. But basically, getting your nutrients and then getting these parts from these plants and these. Imagine some of these plants as tall as a skyscraper. Some of these trees, these roots are going down and getting all type of in general good minerals, all type of minerals, depending on where you're at. You know what I mean? You'd be right next to like a fucking river that all the fucking pollution in the town or city fucking flooded into, and they're just dumping it. And it's like a little lake or river flooded right there, and the trees right next to it. You know what I mean? You just have to use your common sense, man. You know what I mean? It's like some fucking big old pool of water next to a nuclear power plant. Some dumbass might go over there and like find some good grass and like some big trees and like get all the shit he needed to live forever, except it was fucking totally fucking, what was the word? Not inundated. It was just totally fucking polluted, fucking, you know what I mean? With fucking radioactive radiation fallout, radioactive fallout, and nuclear fallout. So I don't know, man. And so that person, of course, would be turned into like some kind of mutant, especially as kids. And that person will fucking have to be like Spider-Man or some shit. Daredevil boy or whatever it's called, where he was blind and he could like fucking do all this acrobatic shit that he normally couldn't do, and he could hear so good that he could basically see whenever it rained, especially. But no, I'm just saying like these are common sense though. But anyways, I mean, it's only so many pieces of the puzzle. I'll give y'all a few pieces, y'all can piece the rest together. You know what I mean? Put it together if anyone really cares. You know what I'm saying? You can take X amount of these antioxidants and minerals and all this stuff to where your body's getting everything it needs and a little extra that it really needs to a maximum a point where your body's systems, every organ and system in your body and tissue in your body is functioning at above 100% level to where you're actually growing young and healthier and just stronger and just staying young and healthy and strong and not growing, not appearing or actually physically aging 1 year's damaged 1 year after 100 years, and you just be the same fucking person, just stronger and healthier looking, you know? Imagine that. That's how we're all supposed to be. We have stem cells in our like just your thigh, your leg, your knee, your thigh, your hip, your thigh. Your thigh, that thigh bone, that really big bone right here, inside of it, you have stem cells. There's stem cells all over other parts of your body. Yeah, and your love handles has these like dormant. I think stem cells. I think they're like dormant or something, but you can extract them. You can get them from your body, they can put it in the incubator and then infinity kit and the fucking thing, the lab basically, and I can fucking put in the solution, man, and put in this elixir that they got from the spaceship, and they can grow. They've got from down the spaceship. They figured out so where they can grow stem cells. It was a long time ago. So there's nothing new about. They can grow stem cells and other tissues and cells and stuff. And basically, so they'll grow the stem cells. They'll get them from you, extract them, take all the stuff out away from them. That's not the stem cell, and they'll get the stem cells, and you know what I mean. They'll get the stem cells and they'll mix it with the solution. The stem cells will multiply, and then they'll take them, you know what I mean, or they'll IV them, and they'll have it, a little wire going to your arm or whatever. I think that would be really nice to IV it, but you can inject it and just that other, especially in spots where your body's damaged. So if you have a fucked up knee, fucked up back, neck, anything, man, anything, bones, and this, that, and the others. Particular stem cells are good for the bones, and others are for the tissues and organs. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not trying to confuse anyone. I'm trying to say also there's a way that you can take stem cells. You can eat them. You can rub them on your skin, and you can take the pills, and you can IV it. And injections, I'd just be a little bit careful about, and all of that I'd be careful about. If you're not getting it from somebody who really knows what they're doing, then they could actually hurt you. It could be going swell, and then it could hurt you. So it's something that you shouldn't really have to lean on too hardcore. But maybe for some of these old people to jumpstart them, their organs and systems and tissues, particular ones, into a stage of being young again, and then they can keep up that young again, and they don't need the stem cells ever again. But they could be eating healthy with all the stuff and the hormones that stem cells need. The hormones will be in your blood at the same time where the stem cells are everywhere in your blood, to where the whole body just grows. Really, there's a way that you can take stem cells. There's shit you can take with them that makes them function 1,000 times more better for a lot of applications and parts of the body. I'm not really going to go into that all the way, but they're working on it. They'll probably have that. They'll probably roll that out to the public in 300 years if everything went like normal, and for some reason we didn't blow each other up. But that goes back to the time travel thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna quit talking about the whole other thing now. But get all the nutrition that you need, nutrients that you need, and extra to where your body's able to maintain and stay young and healthy, and only get young and healthier and stronger. And if you have to, you can use stem cells. You can take the pill, this, that, and the other. If you're doing it proper, if you knew what you're doing, and if you had to, you could do. You can add that to it, and it helps if you know what you're doing. And what I mean, all these just antioxidants, minerals. There's other things. Exercise. You have to exercise, yoga, stretch, Pilates, meditation. You have to quiet your mind, and then you have to exercise your mind a certain amount of time throughout the day, and then you can daydream, which is really healthy, a certain amount of time throughout the day, and that's the type of exercise too for the mind. Even quieting the mind. You have to exercise every organ in your body, basically, is what I'm trying to say, and stretch all of your joints. And you keep stretching them, and you imagine stretching them, and you're like taking these stem cell pills every day, and rubbing it on your skin, and taking all these antioxidants, and taking all the nutrition that your body needs to survive, and you're not putting in any of the poison. You can't put up in any of the poisons that's hurting your body. So now you're not malnourished. You have extra shit to stay young. You take even all this other stuff to help you stay young, and you're not poisoning yourself with the poisons that most people take daily, and you're not getting all this excess shit that's just like more this, that, or other nutrient that you needed, to the point to where it's not extra helping you, but it's hurting you. You can't hurt yourself with an over amount, but a lot like antioxidants, and etc. to an extent, like this, that, and the other, like proteins, carbs, fats. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? All nutrients. Some it's easier to accidentally take more, or in the others it's not as easy. But you have to understand all this stuff, and it's really not that hard to understand. I mean, you can't just take the government's word if they say you need this much protein or this much or that much. You know what I mean? Like you have to make sure these tests were done. You have to do the tests on your own. You have to make sure you see the tests being done. You have to make sure that there's all type of tests done that are above and below level, and for even people like you, because maybe for a certain person, like white people, they might need this, that, or other, and then black people they might need this, that, or other. You know what I'm saying? Oh, girls talking about that. Shout out Erica Pokum, Miss Pokum, ERYCAPL, sure something like that. It's just on my thing, man. Hold on, man. Spirit. I can't pull it up right now. I don't know. Hold on, maybe I can. I'm just gonna click right here. I don't feel like waiting. Did I? Okay, so I don't know. I don't know. But basic. Okay, and the vitamin D, so-called vitamin. The vitamin D. Okay, so you get from like the certain types of like milks and foods are basically from the sun. You know what I'm saying? A white person is like basically a like white person. You know, there's have a lot of like non-white, brown, like yellow or whatever, like brown basically, or like blacks, skin, ethnicity mixed into them, race, skin, species, whatever the fuck you want to call us. But you know, we're all brothers and sisters, we're all God's children. You know, we're all beautiful, we're all stars, we're all different, we're all unique, we're all amazing, we're all one of a kind. We're all here for a reason, to make this world a better place, you know what I mean? To enjoy this world as much as we can, and enjoy it, and enjoy God and all the angels, and bring that God and all the angels to everyone else, and yourself as an angel as well, and bring other people to become that same vibration, and enjoy that, and promote that vibration in the lifestyle, and the utopia lifestyle. A lot of people are kind of like not that, they're like stuck with the, like certain even like DNA, and like where it's like a type of species almost of like not being able to like be utopia, and like, but I mean not for like a particular like color skin basically, but basically for a particular like activated DNA. So like they say if you take like certain nutrients or don't take certain nutrients or whatever, then you'll act a certain way, and they can totally predict like hardcore like a whole bunch of different behavior. And so imagine if you have like candida and you have this bacteria in your intestines, colon all fucked up, your stomach and stuff, and you're not breaking down the food proper, and this bacteria's craving sugars and all this poison food, and so it's making you crave it to feed it. You know, it's like rewired 180 your whole brain and whole body mechanism to survive and live. And you know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to enjoy sweet food as much as we're supposed to enjoy bitter food. Like, to an extent, to like, we're not supposed to enjoy sweet food more than we enjoy bitter food. We should enjoy bitter food and love bitter food and crave bitter food way more than sweet food. And we will after we eat healthy, and you will. Everyone's been fooled, man. It's upside down, man. You can take the red pill, you can take the green, the blue pill. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Totally though. At this point though, yeah, you can just walk away and go to sleep, or you can just and you kick back and listen, enjoy it, go to sleep to this shit, my nigga. Or go to sleep with something else, man. But fucking shit, but that's what I'm saying. You're gonna wake up in two different places. Fuck with me, you're gonna wake up in heaven. You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with me, and it just might be a long road to that heaven that you could have woke up to early. You know, you know what I'm saying? Forgot what I was talking about a little bit, but basically, oh, the time travel thing. Okay, so I named a few different things. I'm not gonna like explain totally, but yeah, you make teas and you make extracts, basically teas and all this, and you get the mineral, all this, and the minerals, you put them on your skin, and you bathing the way I bathe. I use like a little bleach and a little dish soap. I might use a little baking soda, a little like even peroxide and iodine and all type of good stuff to kill all the bad stuff, potential parasites um, like there's little parasites in the grass and all this, that, and the other. They have a tardigrade or tardigrade. It's not like damaging parasites like people's bodies. It's not even parasitic really, but for example, you know what I mean. They can live and all the woods and around the house and anywhere and everywhere, and they can live in the, like fucking pools where like the geysers or whatever is frozen ice, and they can live in the pools where it's like fucking spewing fucking Yellowstone, spewing fucking hot, boiling fucking water in the sky. They can live in fucking space. You can live in freezing water, boiling water, dry. You can live in total drought for like a long forever, like a total water forever, and they might not do about their life. Might not go about their life. They might just fucking sit there and hibernate, but they'll hibernate forever, and eventually, you know what I'm saying. In general, whenever you fucking change those conditions, they'll stop hibernating. They'll crawl back out of the little like cocoon that they'll basically make, and it's just like they can live in like in space even. And if I'm correct, I don't know if they're talking about it, but there's like other parasites, like hookworm, roundworm, tapeworm, like shit like this. Some of those that can even live in space. Like I'm not really gonna go into it, but like you know, periscopic ones, of course. Some of the periscopic ones, parasites. There are parasites that can live in space. So I remember I was connecting with these people from Earth that traveled to another planet, and they're trying to inhabit it on one of the Earth people starships, not the real ones, but the Earth people starships, and they were trying to inhabit it, and the stuff in the dirt was really bad, and they had certain type of food on the you know plane, but they're on the ship, but they're getting tired of it, and it wasn't really all that, you know, nutritious and that and the other. They had all this stuff from Earth. They're supposed to be growing there, and this, that, and the other, and they failed miserably at that. They failed miserably at all type of things that the people got in the plane and went out to carry their job. They felt miserable at like the botanist with the plants wasn't the best one, and this, that, and the other, and the scientists, this, that, and the other. And it was like kind of like with this whole epidemic shit we're going through. Like imagine certain like places, like maybe like China, or certain places like America, or certain places like fucking South or North or Europe or Russia or Africa, like wherever. There's just certain places, certain locations in those places, those countries or continents or regions, to where it's being handled really good or really bad. And it's just like basically there's like imagine the soil having some type of like what's it called, epidemic, like, oh, I'm trying to think, okay, like COVID-19 type stuff. Let's say the soil has like coronavirus and all different types of coronaviruses, and they realize that after like a whole few years, they realize, the scientists, that there's just like thousands of different, even potentially millions of different like coronaviruses, like thousands of times worse than this one in certain places of the planet, like it's a big one like Mars. But luckily, they're kind of lucky they didn't totally get a big hit of it at all. But they're realizing that it's unsafe, and then they realize, okay, well, this shit takes longer for it to activate. It doesn't kill you immediately. It kills you like a few months, and in a few years, bam, it's way more likely. And then 3 years, 3 months, 2% chance. 3 years, okay, 6% chance, 12% chance. Okay, 13 years, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% chance. 30 years, 100% chance like you're gonna be going, unless you have some kind of weird immunity to it. But none of them have like no knowledge of if any of them even have immunity to it or not. Like I was talking to them and communicating with them, listening, picking up on their signal, them talk to each other, like I astral project and this, that, and the other, and they're like from Earth. Like eventually we go out into space like that, but they didn't do it proper, and they played it off to the people that went. And I'm saying they had a few hundred people, and the people that went, those, I mean, a few hundred people that were like really oblivious to it, and they're just living their life like blah 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 normal, and this, that, and the other, and like they kind of made movies on it, and it's really weird. Like how the fuck did they make movies on it unless someone's trying to warn, like some kind of time traveler came back and they're trying to warn people or this, that, I don't know, or but basically, man, they weren't prepared enough. They didn't get the best people of Earth like prepared enough to like to accomplish the jobs that they had to keep everything running and to prosper and to seed the planet. So they seeded the planet, but they're not. They had a lot of problems with illness and disease. And basically, how does the disease work? They just started basically aging. It appeared like aging faster, and they basically it would be similar to like seeing someone age faster, at a faster rate, like 300, 3,000, 30,000 times faster than they should age, like depending on the person getting sick or whatever, and their body handling it, or whatever time of illness when it finally really activates. I'm not really gonna go into all that stuff. That's a whole nother story, man. But they're just kind of freaking out, like, man, you know, like, you know, there's like, can't we go here, there, and the other, and why are these, that, and the other people underground in this like facility? You know, it's supposed to be like this, the mother. It's supposed to be like ground zero of like where they see to the planet and where they started, but it became like a fucking prison almost for some of them. And it's like they just had all these questions, people eventually, and there's like some certain people, and they're just like, let me see, he told him, man, you know what I mean? One of the like scientist type people or whatever that like didn't die or kill themselves or whatever, or they overdrink or too many drugs or this that or the other, and just like fuck it, you know what I mean? He explained to the other ones, and the military people, they were the ones that took over like this whole thing, and like um, um, because of the other extraterrestrials also that were out there, they had another problem with that. The bad ones that were in the grounds over there, they had put the nuclear bombs all around certain parts of the whole thing, which was pretty big. It was probably about like I don't want to say 2 to 10. I mean, yeah, it stretched out where certain little spots in the ground, but basically the whole thing was just really right here, and it was probably you could just say like like uh imagine like small city of like fucking uh um, like 500 people and like almost 500 people and like they're living in like over this whole thing underground where there's like 5 to like 15 skyscraper size like fucking places, I'm saying, underground, all connected, and this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other, like for growing plants, and this, that, and the other, for like the water, and studying the water, and finding and treating and creating, and this, that, and the other, water, this part and the other for electricity, and this, that, and the other, where the people live, and this, that, and the other, where they like study, like this, that, and the other, science, or this, that, and the other, military type fucking shit, or army type shit, or this, that, and the other, even like fucking what's another part of the place that they had? Oh, communications with Earth, this, that, and the other, and like all around, just like some kind of NASA type shit they had, their own little program, this, that, and the other. A lot of programs is just like didn't run proper anyways. As good as they thought they would be able to. The job was calling for a little bit more than skills than the people had, even heart, soul, mind, spirit, and body. And you have to have somebody that can really handle stress, like type of shit, like not be scared, stare death in the face. And this shit was like popping off. Because even though this person knows way more than the other person, this one person right here might just fucking get scared and have a heart attack or kill themselves. And the versus that person was being like keep going about their work and eventually getting it done. Like it was just, man. I'm sorry, I'm talking about that for so long. And the whole other thing. Okay, so the time traveling thing, and there's like different dimensions and stuff. I'm not gonna say anymore, dude. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm out, man. I'm sorry.